Fairies, in general, are beautiful creatures, sweet, kind and full of love. But there was once a fairy who was not so beautiful. The truth is, it was horrible, so much, it looked like a witch. The fairy Fia lived in an enchanted forest where everything was perfect, so perfect that she did not fit the landscape, so she went to live in a cave in the far corner of the forest. There she took care of the animals that lived with her, and enjoyed the company of the children who visited her to listen to her stories and songs. Everyone admired her for her patience, the beauty of her voice and the dedication she gave to everything she did. For children it was not important at all its appearance. "Fairy, why do you live apart?" asked the children. "Because I live that way," she replied. He did not want to tell them that it was because the rest of the fairies rejected her because of his appearance. One day came a very special visit to the enchanted forest. She was the supreme queen of all the fairies of the universe, the Fairy Queen. He was visiting all kingdoms, countries, forests and places where his subjects lived to see that they really fulfilled their mission, to bring beauty and peace wherever they were. To prove that everything was in order, the Queen Fairy cast a very peculiar spell, which he devised according to what he observed in each place. "Your Most High Majesty," said the fairy governor of that enchanted forest, "you can see that our enchanted forest is a perfect place where beauty and harmony reigns." "I see that," said the Fairy Queen. "Let's see if it's true. I conjure this place so that it rains the most beautiful colors if what you say is true, or to disappear the color if there really is something ugly here." But at that moment, the enchanted forest began to run out of colors, and everything turned gray. "It seems not true what you say," said the Fairy Queen. "You will have to look for the reason that your home has lost its color. When you do, this enchanted forest will recover all its brightness and splendor. Only when the true beauty alive among you will this place be perfect again." After the visit of the Fairy Queen, all the fairies of the Council of the Enchanted Forest gathered urgently. "This is the ugly fairy thing," said one of the council fairies. "She is guilty. Let's go get her," said the fairy forest governor. "You have to get her out of here." All the fairies went in search of the ugly fairy. When they found her, they asked her to leave. Poor ugly fairy, thinking she was to blame, left. But when he crossed the borders of the forest, it ceased to be grey and became black. While the children learned of the news, they were quickly talking to the rest of the fairies, very angry. "What have you done? Why did you get him out of here?" cried the children. "The ugly fairy may not be very pretty, but she is much better than you. Let her go back in. She is kind and affectionate, and not like you who are presumptuous and selfish. It is not the ugly fairy that makes this place ugly but your selfishness." The ugly fairy did not walk very far from the forest, and listening to the children screaming in anger returned to see what was happening. "Children, what's wrong?" said the ugly fairy, entering the woods again. The children ran to hug her. All but one, who stood with his mouth open. "Look at that," said the boy. "The soil that has just stepped on the Fia fairy has regained its color, and also the flowers at its side." The rest of the fairies understood at that moment how wrong they had been. "Ugly Tale, forgive us," said the fairy governor. "We thought you ruined our forest and we were not able to see that it was us who did it, being unfair to you. You have a heart is good and pure. We ask you to apologize, please." The ugly fairy forgave her sisters and accompanied them throughout the forest. Everyone could admire the great heart of that fairy who, although she had a very ugly face, moved everyone with her inner beauty.